welcome to Firestorm Gaming. So, thanks for joining us. We're in with some more Welsh Masters 2022 coverage, where we're going back, looking at the footage, and bringing it back sped up as a double speed battle report, make it a little bit easier watching. So, big thanks to Firestorm Games for allowing us to use the footage, which is cool. Obviously, I've got my own as well. I'll be doing all the games, so we've got like 15 games, I think, recorded to do this thing. Let me know in the comments if it's if something you like, and I might just do it for other games as well, if I've got time. They're only about like an hour long so far, so shouldn't be too hard to do. So we're going to jump into the first game. So this is Rob McCormick playing against any guest. So it's going to be an interesting one here. So this is Crucible Guard versus Khador. So Elliot's going to go first. They're just talking about the list at the start. But Elliot's running a Lukas list with Alyce, Liberator and a Vindicator, 2 Ascendant Mentalists, Prospero with the Suppressor, Rhupert Cavallo, the Piper of Ord, and 1 single Mechanik, and then 2 max Assault Troopers, 2 max Failed Experiments. So Meat Mountain, Ass Mountain, bit of a variant, but he's enjoying Lukas instead. Versus Zakova 2. So Rob's dropping Zakova rather than the Cardiff list. He talks about it on the podcast we did post Welsh. So if you want to listen to that, check out somewhere. And he's got an Adjunct, a Decimator, a Destroyer, 2 max units of Outriders, 3 units of Ternions, a Thamarite Archon, a Thamarite Advocate, a Void Archon, 2 Koldun Lords, and Aiyana Holt with Valachev. All of the horrible spells you can imagine. Yeah, so if you're watching and are enjoying, like I said, put a comment in. If you could let us know what you'd like to see. And if you want to support the channel, you can use like your Amazon Prime subscription to sub on Twitch. So you get to see none of the adverts. You do that for free once a month. Or just support us there, or use the affiliate link, which will be in the notes below if you want to buy anything from Wayland. So obviously they're the new supplier for Warmachine Hordes and all the PP stuff throughout the UK. So the cheapest and easiest way to get Private Share Press toys and elsewhere as well. Other games, plenty of other games too. So so we're just setting up, and the guys are going to start kicking up. At which point we'll speed up. So off we go. So Elliot's on the right here. We look at the scenario is invasion. On the top circle is an obstruction. To the left of it is another obstruction, like the barrels you can see. On the right, that green patch is acid water. In the centre of the table, the completely round grey thing is a squall. So it's fog that will reduce the range of attacks coming in and out by 3. And then in the bottom zone, that second circle is burning earth. And to each side is on the left is a trench, on the right is a wall. So plenty of cover and plenty of clouds against in a list that's got 2 cloud casters. This is going to be interesting to see. So I've not seen the game already, so we're just gonna go along with you basically and see how it is. So this should be pretty cool. The guys talked about the lists. Kind of Elliot's kind of forced into dropping this one. His Bennett list probably doesn't hit hard enough to worry Karchev too much. And the 2 trains, the 2 rail interceptors, are real sad when it comes to shooting at all of the Koldun models. So they're two good sprays, are just completely useless in the match. So that's what we got. So Elliott's just setting up on the right, and then we'll see how quickly we get cracking. I'm presuming both of them have got the observatory objective, but I'd be very surprised if they don't. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes down. Yeah, between the clouds, the Ternions can stick out, and the amount of stealth that the Zakova list has got, basically because of Prowl. I'd be real surprised if that's missed. But Elliot doesn't have a huge amount of shooting. So again, it was so he's got a Liberator, a Vindicator, and a Suppressor, and then everything else, well, I obviously, and Lukas. So yeah, the Jacks basically are the force of the ranged attacks. Prospero's unlikely to get involved with this gun, but you never know as the game sort of grinds on. Lukas's like real defense here is going to be how survivable he is. Like he's very like it's deceptively survivable. A couple of camp with the upkeep on can keep him alive through a lot more than you'd expect. So we will see. We'll see very shortly. So Elliott's just starting to set up his guys. We've got deployment zones out, and off they'll go in a second. Look at Lukas's card. Yeah, Lukas so 15-16 on his card. Then just happens to have the bonus of rapid healing. Pretty nice. And then he's got Iron Flesh as well, which is the +2 arm and blast resistance, which is pretty juicy. So we'll see how it all works out. So Elliott's just chucking his big old blob of guys down here. He's got a lot of mobiles, just going to go in a one big old line. It's looking pretty symmetrical as he's sticking them down. It's be interesting to see where the arc node is. That's the thing to keep an eye out. If we look at the top-down view, it looks like it's a definite skew, like a bit of a diagonal line here that Elliott's sitting up on. I'm not sure if that's just the the skew of where the camera is present. Because it doesn't look so bad if you flick the view, right? but it is what it is. So we've got a lot of Crucible Guard lined up, ready. Rob's just deploying, so the Jacks will be in front and centre. And I assume he's going to do something very similar. So the Archons here are going to do some real good work, which will be cool. And obviously those Jacks are there to just do some ranged punishment where we wouldn't necessarily want to put them straight up into combat. This is a pretty good scenario for Rob. There's just one Jack zone in the centre, so he doesn't have to worry about trying to spread out. And he's got very very fast, very manoeuvrable units that can apparate, that can walk real far, or can run real far and spray, and then probably hose down the world. And it's just really how much they can break on things like the Assault Troopers and the Failed Experiments. Obviously, the Assault Troopers are normally really tanky on the way in, but against guns, because of Carapace. So it's going to be an interesting one. And there's plenty of debuffs to go down from the Khador side. So we're looking at the start for Elliot. He's just discussing threat ranges. And Zakoba's threat ranges are ridiculous because you go, if you consider everything can run, then Zakoba can feat, so they get to spray. So it's like really hard to give a straightforward, this is how much they'll threat normally. It's like, well, they can run and then it's different. So these are the Assault Troopers just running up on the bottom of the screen. Mentalist walks up, sticks up a force barrier, I assume, and gets behind the wall. The next unit here are... so these are Failed Experiments next. They're just, I assume, warping or mutating, chugging for speed and running up a table. So one of the things that that Elliot needs to be aware of and be wary of is Hoarfrost. So obviously I've talked through this match with Rob already, but I have played into Rob with almost identical list to the one he's put down this weekend at the Welsh, and a boosted Hoarfrost, with rerolls and an extra die particularly is basically horrible into an infantry swarm, where he's going to just make a vast chunk of people just frozen. So stationary, on a big AoE is a thing. So yeah, spoilers. Don't chunk up your guys too much versus Kova. She'll just freeze them all, and then you won't get to do anything while she just has her way, and then gets to do it again the next turn. It's a really oppressive tool suite of skills and spells she's got, which is cool. This is definitely like the no friends pairing that Khador have got. Karchev 2 and Zakova 2. There's other options. Certainly, obviously, Karchev 2 is like very much top of the meta at the moment. But he's got very good options to go with him. So Zakova 2 obviously is an option, and is very strong. It depends on what you think you need to answer. Zakova 1 is something like Flames with like a ton of infantry and weapon masters, and like her control is also really good. You've got options of Vlad 2 with anything, rockets, Doom Reavers, Armored Core, just wherever he wants to place it, or just general Rocketeer lists and Doom Reaver lists. There's a lot of good stuff that Khador can pick up as that off list to complement Karchev, which is cool. So Crucible will run up, pretty much. That's done. It sticks like a couple of clouds to add to the cloud in the middle, and then Rob's just chatting through, making sure he understands the threat ranges that are coming back at him before he starts really going deep. Rob rocking the England Knights shirt from the WC that he played with them with. England Knights no more. If you've not seen, the English teams are now Lions, Roses and Bulldogs. It's a bit of a switch around. So the Ternions, the Grey Lord Outriders at the bottom and the ones at the top are both have the apparition tokens on. So push them forward, basically. Or apparate them forward. So it's a place. I shouldn't say push, really. It just gets confusing, right? So they're apparating forwards. They get placed in Rob's control phase. And he can change it around. But yeah, whether he wants to, well, we'll see as the game progresses, right? So currently we've got a big old cloud wall across the middle between the grey squall and the two 3-inch rings, which are rings from Lukas. And we'll see if Rob's going to get much done this turn. But yeah, he's got an adjunct, so he's got guidance on tap, so something can have magical weapons and Eye of Sight, which is nice to be able to do turn 1. So just running off the jack to make sure they're outside of threat range. Go. Good bit of measuring, making sure he's not making a mistake in placing his jacks. They're probably going to stay there for most of the game. I won't lie, they're there to be gun platforms. I imagine one of them will just sort of scoot forward into the zone if he thinks he needs to score it or contest it. Otherwise, they're probably happy where they are, just bombarding the Crucible Guard army. But we'll see. Might go all in. Might be like I'm just going deep. So you'll see. Obviously, there's not many scenario elements to be able to be easily scored here. Yeah, we've got the two circle zones for units on each side, and then the one for battle engines and jacks in the middle. Obviously, warcasters can always score any of the elements, and then there's an objective for each player to be able to kill and score an extra one. So there's plenty of scoring that can be done, but by the time that scoring actually happens, I think we'll be pretty deep into attrition. Otherwise, there's so many models on both sides that could easily just contest and be pretty safe, or at least safe to be there until they're killed. We'll see. So. Rob's looking at a lot of the measurements. He's moving up. Is that Grey Lord has run up into the into the score, so you can have his way there. So this sort of sacrificial Grey Lord goes in to basically become the Archnode with Telegraph Mark. So he gets given up basically for Sokoa to start arcing spells straight away. So that's one failed experiment dead, and was that a Hoarfrost? And he's just frozen 4 failed experiments. That's horrific start if that's the case. I'm trying to remember back to our discussion with Rob on Future Sight. But he's just running up with the Outriders on the left now to make sure they're outside of threat range for the failed experiments to charge in. I'm presuming he's taken into account TKs, or at least a TK. Like these guys have got Snow Wreath, and I think one of Rob's models now gives Prowl to everyone. Is that the Koldun's? Yeah, so the Koldun Lords within 9 give units Prowl, which is pretty cool considering that the Outriders have got Snow Wreath, so they've always got concealment, which means they're just stealthed as long as they're within 9 of Koldun. And the Ternions haven't got it, but can just stick a cloud on themselves. So there's a lot of stealth options for Rob to put out, which means it's like a little bit harder to be reached out and touched. But at the same time, Crucible Guard also has a caster attachment that gives magic weapons and Eye of Sight. So there's something there, but it's going to mitigate some shots, some stuff from the Jacks. Rob's Thamarite Archon is refusing to stay stood up. Just keeps on falling over. It's just towards like the top end of the screen. And Void Archon moves forward just behind the Thamarite, and we turn over. So it's turn 2 for Crucible Guard. Elliot's having a look, thinking about what he can get out of there. Certainly, one dead Grey Lord. How much more is debatable. That's the thing here. How much can he get done? And he's got to just basically a brace for a potential feat turn, which under Sokoa can be really, really brutal. You've got to come in. You can't just stay back because you just all you could do is just mitigate how much gets debuffed and how much gets taken off the table. Rob's in a position where he's going to basically be bullying more than Lukas is, which is not a good spot to want to be in. But the failed experiments can go pretty far and pretty deep, so we'll see what he gets out of it. So we're doing allocation and stuff. I think Iron Flesh was on one of the failed experiments, or did he put it on Lukas? I'd be very tempted to keep it on Lukas if I was Elliot at this point. Just try to take the assassination off the table. Get it into a nice defensive position where it's going to be hard to hit him with anything like Hoarfrost or like Harm and Brittle Frost, just to make him more likely to survive the sprays. So the sprays are going to come in no matter what. And it's just trying to mitigate how much damage they can do. So if you can stop there being multiple damage buffs on you, all the better. I think last time me and Rob played, I was playing played this caster. I was playing King at Nothing, and he just trivially took like 4 heavies off the table on his feet turn, just sprayed down 4 clocks to death. Quite happily, it was real rough. and it just shows how much damage it can do. Between Brittle Frosts, you got so many instances as well. So you got two, if Jacoba feats, you got 2 instances of harm, and you got multiple instances of Brittle Frosts. There's a lot gets weakened, ready for and suddenly the power 10 sprays are doing a bunch more, especially if they want to. So this is, I think, Prospero goes back. And the Jackon, I think that's a suppressor. It's just that sort of one's Prospero. Just gonna spray off the Grey Lord Outrider. So it's one down. One down, many Grey Lords to go. Like if you haven't watched or listened to any of the lore, like the Grey Lords, like a proper, like shonky, dodgy occultists, sort of seekers of knowledge and willing to delve as deep and dark as they need, for the cause. So quite cool. So seeing a bit of a clump up again here. So we've got the Mentalist still behind that wall. The Assault Troopers have spread out a little bit in the circle zone, trying to mitigate the chance for multiple people to be frozen. These Assault Troopers on the top of the screen, a couple of them going sort of further in, but very much spreading out. The Sentimentalist at the top of the screen just flying wide, just trying to be out of the way. She'll come back into it later on, I imagine. Meanwhile, we've got this top unit of failed experiments sort of clustering up. I say clustering up. They've spread out a little bit, but not a hell of a lot. And again, Lukas is putting down some clouds. But as we see, the problem is, Rob can run a guy into a cloud that's got a telegraph mark on. So you just run in, and off he goes. So the clouds are just stopping charges basically, which is fine. But this list really doesn't rely on charging you. It wants to walk up, do its sprays, and back off. So, and obviously there's a bunch of failed experiments in the middle of the screen that don't go anywhere because they were frozen. So it's like, well, guess that could happen again. But Rob's very much despite Lukas still being a control caster as well, Rob's in this really strong position where he gets to dictate what happens a lot more. Lukas can stick down his clouds and threaten to extend threat ranges and do some damage, but Zakova just threatens to just blast you off the table, to freeze you and stop you from activating at all, versus this quite an infantry heavy list, so pretty rough. Telegraph marks being upkept on the bottom unit of Outriders. Big surprise there for no one. I know the other bonus, obviously, that Zakova's got is she's Spellwand, so she's not getting zapped by Lukas at any time during the game, which is good. Zakova could put Banishing Ward on one of the units as well to just give them extra protection. So she's very much brought a real good suite of skills to counter the Crucible Guard. Crucible Guard is, I think, the main thing that Rob's worried about with Kharchev 2. And this very much is sort of dialed in to take advantage of a bunch of things that can really prey on Crucible Guard's weaknesses. So there's an entire army immune to cold, so the Revelous Interceptors are significantly weaker against them. There's a caster that's spell warded that has Banishing Ward's hand out to another unit as well. There's some good tech here. So we're looking at blasting the objective here. So this is Rob's turn 2. She's gone second. So this is the scoring round. So he just is taking off the objective already. that was fast. I thought he might need like a little bit of work to get that done, but turns out no. So objective's down. So Rob will be going 1 up this the end of this turn, or goes 1 up immediately for destroying the objective, I guess. So this is Aiyana Holt. So I think they're harming this bottom unit of assault troopers that are in the zone, and then Holt will get a couple of gunshots. He's pretty good with his guns. It's not going to do much versus. I was going to say it wasn't going to do much versus a unit that's just naturally got carapace, but yeah, when you stack up harm, turns out you can still do a bunch of work. Some Ternions going forward. And that's the second guy down out of the unit. Like, Rob could be full on clearing this zone by the looks of it. Like, there's 3 assault troopers left to go. So he's got 3 ponies, 3 Grey Lord Outriders. They're all immune to cold, so they can spray through each other if it helps them get like sort of better angles. And obviously, between harm and no carapace, these guys are, they're just getting melted. So the entire unit goes down, and we've got Ternions already in the zone. So these guys, the Outriders, can just basically back up to be protected for the next turn. This looks like this could well be not a feat turn, where Rob's just going to play on scenario. So the one forward Outrider going even closer to the middle unit of failed experiments, because he's already a charge target. He's not going to be able to get out of view, and he's not going to be able to get far enough away. So which way you may as well go forward and stop them being able to charge him, kill him, and then redirect charge attacks onto other things. So the Adjunct giving true sight to the Jack. Shooting his knockdown shot. And taking out one of the assault troopers on the top of the table. Let's flip over the camera to have a little look from top of Rob's lovely head. So here we go, the Thamarite Archon's going forward and starting shooting. Pretty sure this is a Thamarite. Yes, it is, yeah, look at it. If we flip over quickly, you can see the horrendous lean back of the model. So the Thamarite Archon's not done a huge amount. We'll see what it gets done. Or what the rest of the army gets done to make sure it's not in danger. Does Rob have enough to clear this central zone? I'm not sure. Like, it looks like he's going for clearing maybe the circle zone, but he'll really struggle to kill the furthest assault trooper to the left. He's like behind the building. There's no like easy view for him. It could be that if Sokovia hasn't gone already, it could be that an Outrider repos forward, and then she swaps Telegraph Mark onto them so she can arc a spell through and kill him. Because the rest of the unit are for sure just getting melted. And this is what I mean. The assault troopers normally are really, really hard to get rid of. If you're coming in with guns, but when you've got like a million spells instead, not so hard. Carapace does nothing for them. the force barrier doesn't help, and obviously then the concealment doesn't help because these are all sprays. So it's just like a perfect storm of how to melt assault troopers 101, bring Outriders, and a cheeky bit of harm or a cheeky bit of brittle frost to help you on your way if you can. So this is the Void Archon's just running. So yeah, so Void Archon runs into the trench, and nothing really to get done this turn. Maybe if the assault troopers hadn't died so easily, the Void was going to go forward, do a spray, and then sort of bounce back. But so that's it. So we're going to Elliott's turn 3. So this is 1. So 2-0 to Rob, obviously scoring that right zone and scores the killing the objective. So 2-0. What can Elliot get back now this turn? This is going to be like an absolute crunch turn. Like if he doesn't go in, if he doesn't get some work done, Rob can basically just rinse and repeat the next turn, hold on to his feet for even longer if he needs to, and just kill everything that's within. So we're looking at a measurement from, I think, the Jack. So it's looking already rough for Elliot. I cannot lie. He's got to commit and get a lot of work done and survive. It's going to be the trick, because if he doesn't commit, then Rob just gets to basically go forward with his Ternions and his Outriders, spray stuff, like debuff stuff, spray stuff, kill the best part of another 2 units, and then repo backwards to pretty safe spots. So Elliot's just gotta get some serious work done this turn. So just working out spells and allocation. I think there's a few focus being handed out onto the Jacks, and in the corner of the zone is Thamarite Archon. So it's going to be careful not to miss him, because obviously as soon as you miss the Archon, it's dodging out of the way, and wherever you had lined up is probably off the table. But yeah, it's definitely something he wants to get rid of, because it's just like good shots into his Jacks every turn otherwise. Okay, so I think that the leader had been stationary of the failed experiments. So Elliot's killed him himself. So then he gets to pass the leader model to someone else, which means that the unit can receive orders. Because if the unit leader is stationary, there's no orders for anybody. So it's a hard choice, but probably the right one. You kill one of your own guys, and you sacrifice one of your guys being able to make an attack, but it means the rest of them get to actually get up there and do something. Otherwise, the entire unit's just going to sort of flounder, and will probably be dead before they've got anything done. So just proxying where some stuff's going to. Where is it going to? There's a good bit of banter between the two players, which is nice. They're both having fun. Despite Elliot losing half his infantry in one turn, he's in good spirits. If you're not playing against him, he's an absolute champ. He's a really good guy. He merked for the Welsh team at the last WC, I'd like to say. It's been a pleasure to play him. I played him on Friday night. I just had a casual game into this list, into his Lukas list, which was real cool. Just trying to do a little bit of just fun games, and I guess just confirming that I was happy with my Kalissa list into Crystal Guard, and I had a great game. I made some massive fuck up, but it was definitely made me happy about the choice, even if I realised I needed to think about certain things more. But yeah, we'll come to that game. I'll probably do the same, and we'll do a spend up before a bit. So these little like little kind of things that Elliot's got down are the I think are 3D printed like dials for the failed experiments. So we can basically go, oh, look, this one they are, you know, speed and strength, or they are, you know, mat and speed. You know, it's kind of cool little thing. So you always got it on the table. So down goes the first Ternion on the right, on the bottom of the zone here. Like, it doesn't seem like a great amount of stuff has been killed so far, and it's gonna be interesting to see how much Elliot gets out of this turn. So these are the failed experiments going in, so they're activating, so he's dialing them up. He's dialing them up, and he's putting proxy bases in, just making sure nice and clean. He knows exactly where he's going to. So in goes the so he goes into one of the Outriders. Next one's coming into the Archon. Is the Archon just going to dodge away like the prick there? Like, I'm not sure why Thamarite Archon's got a little bit better. Well, that was a very underwhelming bunch of charges from the failed experiments. The Mentalist coming up behind the Grey Lord and getting one killed. Kills an Outrider. And she's Rhupert back to try and be a bit safer from retaliation. So you see behind the house here on the left zone, was Ascendant Mentalist, so it's come forward. They do have a spray, right? Am I just like kidding myself? I'm sure Ascendant Mentalists have got sprays. Where are we? Ascendant Mentalists. Yeah, indeed, yeah. So it's spray 8, power 12. And it ignores line of sight, so it could have just been completely behind the building. So it's like the same sort of sprays that the Seclex have. But he's gone forward, killed one of the Outriders, and then repoed back. So he's really like just tucked in as behind this building in the left zone as possible. And then we've got Lukas' activation here. So we're getting Jack's TK'd forward. So we're just discussing how much Lukas is juicing. So instability equation from Prospero goes on to his Jack, I would guess, right? We're looking at where. So this is a trample, and then it will be sprays. So a chunk onto the objective. So he's just softening up stuff. He's got his backline Jacks to come forward and do some shooting. So he wants to make sure that objective is gone. So he's at least starting to come back on scenario. So Rob just can't easily run away and score and just get a scenario victory next turn. So we're on 2-0 currently. So if Elliot doesn't do this, then there is the potential that Rob just clears all the zones and just scores and just goes 5-0 up. So this is really important to get, and off it goes. So the objective gets blown off the table. So it's now 2-1. No more scoring is going to happen. I think there's an Archon towing into the zone, and there's a Warjack, very firmly lodged in that central zone. I say that. Let's change the view. Has Elliot cleared everything from that top circle zone? I think he might have. I think there might be. Let's have a look. I'm not sure. Yeah, so Elliot has cleared that left zone as well. So he's scoring the zone because he's got one assault trooper in it. He's the only guy left in the unit, and he takes the objective. So we're going 2-2. So a lot healthier on the scenario front. But Rob's got a lot of stuff that can come forward now and just spray down the world. So we're going to see. This could be the turn that just Elliot loses like his army. There's the potential that he's just going to go forward and just feats and just obliterate everything. We'll find out in a minute. Could be Lukas is just left at his own at the end of this turn, going, maybe I should go home. So doing a little bit of work through the Koldun's. Rob displaying the wiggliest of tape measure action, but so the Outriders going forward, spraying. Don't care about their own guys. As I said, they're all immune to gold, so they can just line up where angles they need to, which is nice. If he's playing into matches where everyone's spell warded or banishing warded up and stuff like that, again, it's super nice. He can just use his own guys as targeting beacons, line up the sprays, and go, I don't care that I can't target you. I'm just spraying something behind you, or my own guys will just walk in front to do the same. So we're seeing some sprays going into the failed experiments. So one's down. That's 2 down. This is nice and quick work at the hands of the Grey Lords here. This is Brittle Frost going into the Jack, I think, from one of the Koldun Lords. We're going up. This is a spray through the two failed experiments. So nothing on them. Impervious flesh proving to be a little hard to crack for some of the weaker parts. And these Grey Lord Outriders going a little bit deeper. So get some more sprays again. So they've definitely been weakened up here. The central unit of failed experiments, but not quite enough to get off the table yet. I think this is maybe what Elliot was hoping for previously. You throw the failed experiments up as fast as you can, but you've got to spread them out to stop the hoarfrost. You stick impervious. They got impervious flesh. You stick iron flesh on them as well, just to make them, as many of them, survive as they can, to try to deliver them. Because they're already showing to be a problem for Rob to remove. But with how Rob's game is going here this turn, that might dictate that this becomes a feat turn, so he can then debuff the unit and finish them off, and just sort of push back and get as much off the table as he can. So that's another failed experiment goes. So this is the Archon shooting a failed experiment, finishing it off, and then letting it walk and hit someone before it gets killed. Just nice, nice bit of work. So this is another unit of Ternions. Just spell chucking into the those central failed experiments, trying to clear out the nearest models to Zakova. And then the Advocate goes up and gives Zakova an extra focus, because that's what she needs, right? So Zakova does her signature spell and does a bit of cheeky damage onto her own units. So this is Sacrificial Lamb. So up to 2 models, warrior models, take D3 damage, and then for each one, she gets focus. For anyone in the battle group, so she can have it herself, or she can have it on the jacks. So she's allocated a bit to the jacks, just to make them super efficient, basically. Yeah, she can go. This unit can, or these multi-box solos can just take D3 each. None of them die, and it's just to focus efficiency just out of the roof, basically. So we're looking at this one last experiment here, I think, in the zone. He gets killed. So that bottom zone is clear again. So Rob will be scoring there. We've got the top units getting their sprays in. This is the feats. So the Jack's just been hit with a Hoarfrost with a crit, so he's now stationary. So yeah, the Jacks have yet to activate, so it's basically just making it real easy for Rob to just completely take this guy off the table. So he's also hitting, so there's no chance of whiffing dice rolls. So he's just taking damage. So he's just buying extra attacks with the Jack. And yep, off goes the Suppressor. And then up comes the second Jack. And just goes for a big bomb shot at the Arc Node. I'm trying to work out who he's shooting. So he's not shooting the Arc Node. I think he's shooting at. So look, what is this? What is this model in the middle? Is that Alyce? Is Alyce hulked out? So she knocked out of the zone, knocked down. So it takes out the mace on the Jack. And knocks him out of the zone. There's still stuff in the zone though, so this is. I don't think there's any extra scoring going to be had this stage, just beyond that right hand zone. So Void Archon's going up and spraying. I think that's a last failed experiment behind the cloud. And the Jack. So we got a boost on the failed experiment, which does not kill him, so there's no bounce. and on the Arc Node, just does some damage. And that's Rob's done, so... So we're scoring up to 3-2 to Rob. We're going into Elliot's round 4. There's not a lot of Crucible Guard left on the table. Sokovia, pretty far back, pretty safe. This is kind of like Elliot trying to pull back something here. If you can see while Elliot is when Elliot leans forward, he's wearing a lovely Welsh WC top from the last WC that happened. Nice Celtic knotwork, white sides. I'm very proud of my work. So we're in the tank a little bit for Elliot here, trying to work out what he can get done, what he can score back. So he's down on attrition, he's down on scenario, and there's no easy assassinations certainly on the table. Sokovia is not an easy one to get rid of. So he's shaking stationary on the heavy. Makes things easier. It'd be pretty sad if he didn't get an activation out of the heavy as well as the rest of how things have gone. So we're looking at who's going in where. So like Lukas can easily TK these jacks or the Felix round to get into the cloud so we can see through it. Wait there. But it's just been pointed out the failed experiment was tough and it's knocked down. So he's basically just could stand up and walk. So he doesn't get to go in. He just gets to walk into the zone to contest it. At least he's like not super easy to remove. Like he heals up as part of his activation. And over here we've got the lone assault trooper is charging in. Like if he's lucky, he gets to do backdrafts. He gets to cream the first Outrider and then swing again the second one. So down goes with the first one. Down goes an eruption of ash, so which will do damage to the second Outrider and kills them both. So good work from the last assault trooper of the army. And we've got the Mentalist flying over again, doing a spray, try to take out another one of the Ternions. The Ternions, the Outriders. So the Mentalist misses and repos sort of deeper into the zone. Maybe to threaten to do something else next turn. Or just be problematic, I guess. Okay, so the heavy here with his gun is getting TK'd. So Lukas is in his activation. So TK's TK's the Vindicator. Walks forward. He's like looking some desperate plays maybe here. So this is Alyce is walking forward, but she's had to sacrifice her action. So just working out if she can walk and jump. the players are just working out themselves. They've called a judge and then just worked out themselves. So Alyce walks forward, jumps, but doesn't get to attack, and the Thamarite Archon has got parry, so it can just walk out of combat. But I guess it stops it from aiming. So in goes the heavy. In goes the Vindicator. Like, if he can roll real good, maybe gets the zone cleared. I'm surprised, unless I miss it, I didn't see a disintegration coming out of Lukas, which would have definitely helped. All right, okay, no, this is real sad then. So yeah, the Vindicator's gone in, nothing's dead. The Archon's coming in. Getting a little bit of extra damage then. Takes off one of the heavies. Still one in the zone, and there's no way to remove it. So there's no scoring this turn. So we're going to stick at 3-2 in Rob's favour. But so Prospero goes up, and so we're across to Rob's turn 4, and if I look at the top down, we'll see that there's an assault trooper and something else in the left zone, and the ascendant mentalist and an Alyce. So there's a good amount of stuff. In the right zone is just a lone failed experiment, and in the middle zone we've got Prospero and the 2 jacks. Like this looks like everything potentially just goes. Yeah, I'm not sure that Elliot has anything left at the end of this turn. I might have said that last turn, but he did get a lot taken off him. So, well, let's see. So there's a good amount of sprays going. That failed experiment on the right just gets creamed. Potentially the Archon goes in, kills it, stops the tough if Rhupert's still alive somewhere and just given him tough, and then bounces into the back of the Liberator and then just fucks it up. So doing. So this is Aiyana Holt, I think. Just harming up the heavy. Holt's putting some shots in. So, and the fair experiment is now on his ass. So again, the squall's going to give the Liberator concealment, but not going to care about the minus range because it's only on guns. And there's some ponies walking up here now on the right hand zone. Going to basically just make sure they finish off the failed experiment. So they're claiming that right hand zone. So he's hitting on the arc node. So it's armor 19 with a shield, down to 17 with harm on it, or brittle frost, whichever landed. And down goes the Vindicator. So the Liberator and Prospero are the only thing left in the zone. Rob doing his signature tape wiggle. It's like some sort of crazy snake. So Outriders just getting some sprays off on the left side. So off goes the small model. I think that might be Rhupert. And off goes the Ascendant Mentalist. The Archon's just going to walk over everyone. It's got parry, so it doesn't care about where everything is. So it's shooting Prospero. Oh no, it's a light. Okay, shooting the Liberator. So kills the Liberator with the first shot. Shooting into Prospero with the second shot. Prospero's got some focus on him at least, so he's going to be a little bit harder to remove. And then the Archon, the Void Archon goes up and sprays him. Oh, maybe this might be this is either a Mechanik or Rhupert. He's failed to get a hit to bounce in. He moves up. So Rob scores 4-2 on this turn, and it's Elliot's turn 5. Elliot's turn 5, and a lot of stuff looking very, very beaten. So we're looking at juices on Lukas, focus replenishment. So Lukas gets his focus back, Prospero gets focus back. And what can Elliot do from here? So yeah, there's not a lot of Crucible Guard models left on the board now. Any chance of assassination, I think, is just gone. So the best Elliot's doing here, I think, is just trying to get score some points back. Just think about the rest of the event, basically, at this point. So he's going with Prospero into the Void Archon. So Prospero's just going toe-to-toe with the Void Archon, failing to kill it. Very sad. The solo, whether that's the Mechanik or the Piper, runs into the right zone to contest. So over on the left zone, the Archon gets missed and dodges. Lukas is going forward and disintegrated. I know he's TKing the heavy, just trying to get him further away from him, turning the wrong way around. Is that all that Lukas is doing? So Alyce is going to jump and just hit one of the Outriders. Kills it. Kills a random Ternion and that's it. So contests everything. Rob goes into his turn 5. Kills the one guy. So he's currently 4-2 up. So he clears up the right zone, clears up the middle zone. The Archon's just putting out some shots. He's just looking to finish off the scenario game here. And that's it. And basically Rob goes for the guarantee. You don't need to hit any attacks into Lukas if you could just win on scenario, and that's what happens. So cool. So very very well done. So obviously another game from Rob there where he's taken the win. So if you've enjoyed watching this, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Use your Twitch subscription to support us. Use the affiliate link to get some payback for us somehow. It's all appreciated, and let me know if you've enjoyed watching the game. And with that, I think that's it. So we'll try and get this uploaded over the next couple of days, and we'll see you for another one shortly. Goodbye.